TEAMATES.com.
To, as a unit, I think, even with the young guys, because coach, I would say through me, like if we, my question that I would have asked y'all is like the memorable moments. If y'all gave me two, I could give you two or three of memorable. One happened my first time ever stepping on the court at Holy Cross. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Yes.
I remember that.
Memorable moments that we had for ourselves.
Yeah, like yeah, for yourselves at Holy Cross, and that's my next question. The reason why I said the crazy part about this, I had first time stepping on the court at Holy Cross. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I had 18. But it's not about the points.
Who did we play that game?
Played Boston University.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we won like it was a game we won by like a couple points. BU always played us tough, but it was not that I just had it. I felt like he was genuinely happy for me. He was genuinely like saying, not. I've seen people not be happy for somebody, their teammate, and I felt like, yo, this like we had something. We lost games because we couldn't hit free throws, in my opinion. That's just what it was, and we could go. I have film and all of that. We're gonna break down, show y'all that we missed games. But me having 18, because if I say my couple memorable moments, was me having 18, winning 2005 at Notre Dame, and then winning 2007 the Patriots. So those three I could say for me. But my first game ever at the Hart Center was amazing for me. But it set up something that could be special for me. So it's not all about your accolades, but how y'all made me feel. And then 2005, which came off a disappointment, and we ended up winning at Notre Dame, and then winning the Patriot League championship my senior year in 2007.
So have two memorable moments or three?
You could do three. I did three, just giving you the timeline. So you give me that. I don't want to hear JAVE.
Freshman year championship game.
Which I watched over and over.
Yeah, me too. Notre Dame. That was a big one.
What about Chattanooga?
I mean, that was a, you know, I had a personal.
But I say that because it was in Puerto Rico, which set up a career for you. Not only are you half Puerto Rican, correct? That is where you played a lot of your years.
Yeah. But
that game, they didn't need no more film. Right? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, like 39 points. I was on the court, so I could. I never seen you catch fire like that ever. So.
Yeah. I mean,
you have big games, but that game was unreal. It was like you were playing for your country. So, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like playing for your to be saying, you know, I'm a pro.
No, that was a lot of fun. Obviously, my family was there. Not just my immediate family, but my Puerto Rican family was there. So that was fun. But like, when I think about like memorable moments, I think about like games that had like an impact or something, like not just the game itself, but like a feeling that it gave me. Like my freshman year championship game, that was that was one of the happiest moments in my life. Honestly. And then the Notre Dame game, obviously, we'll probably get back to that at some point because I'm going to answer my own question with that one. But obviously that was big for us and something that we deserved. Third game, damn. Even though it's, you know, it's a bad memory in a lot of ways, I just think about the way it made me feel because how invested I was. Like losing the championship in 2005. That game, you know, that was the worst half of basketball we played the whole year in the first half. And we lost and we fought, but like the pain that I felt after that game on the bench. There's a picture of me like being consoled by Tim Clifford crying. Right. You know, I've cried before, but just to think about the mind frame we were in, how invested we were, how hard we worked. That was really memorable. Something I think about to this day. Yeah. So those are my three biggest memories.
Yes. Because the best memorable moment was my sophomore year. We played out. We had just beat Navy in the that's when they used to have it down in Maryland. Right?
The tournament.
The tournament, right? Okay. So Coach Willer was like, "Y'all want to go back home or y'all want to stay down here?" So this is almost like the setup, like, you know, like if we lose, he gonna say, oh, yeah, y'all use this as an excuse, you know.
Yeah.
So you know what, we said we stayed down there, right? So we played American. We was second seed, right? They the number 1 seed. They had this kid Patrick Doctor, who they was like really big on, and we started off the game and we was like kind of rolling. That American crowd used to be crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yes.
they were down 2, and the kid what is it? Miles, Stephen Miles. They called a play for him, right? They down 2. This dude shoots a 3 in the corner, and it hits the side of the backboard, right, with like 3 seconds left. Brian gets the rebound, and Brian gets fouled, and we like game's over because Brian, he gonna go to the line. He hitting no, this is over, and that like we didn't have a good season that year. We were like probably 18 and 14 or something like that, and we would like our non-league schedule. We didn't really do that well, but in our league we did well. We started to pick up. We started to, and what the crazy thing was, we had like a little separate. Brian,
y'all hanging out.
Oh, we started hanging out more, and
Chemistry.
and we had the chemistry, so we really started caring about each other.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to let one another down. But before, it was like 2 teams, 3 teams, like this two, three dudes hang out. Whatever. Then we started all hanging out, and it's like, I don't want to let this dude down, you know. And when Brian got fouled, and he's going to the line, this game is over, you know, and like. Those fans didn't like us, and we didn't like them, you know. And then we went on to play Kansas, and we was a 16 seed, you know. We really went into that game believing we could win, you know. We were winning at halftime, and we really believed that because we felt like we all had each other's backs, you know. And no, we didn't pull out the game, but we like, yeah, that was a big moment, you know, for like to put Holy Cross back on the map and. You know, give people confidence that we can go into the tournament and play with these big time schools. You know, the other thing is your freshman year and my junior year when we played American and the championship. You know, we had rival with them. They beat us by 25 one time. They came back. They played us at home. Hey, that was like the loudest I seen Holy Cross at the time. We beat them. It was a close game. We beat them by 2, so they coming back to us for the championship, and everybody was like excited. I like had like out of body experiences like before the game, you know. And like prior to that, during the playoffs, I was like in foul trouble, so I didn't really play as much, and I didn't really play often. And Kev like really stepped up. You know, he made all tournament as a freshman. He stepped in that position, you know, and like even that game, I started off decent. But I didn't really play that well, you know, and Kev like brought that home for us, you know, like
came off the bench,
and he had some really, really big moments, you know, and that was like his coming out party, you know, and even like during those times, like Kevin and I were close, but we wasn't that close. But I think from there we really got closer, and like, you know, Ireland made us closer as well. But I was like. Generally happy for him. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't play well, but it was like it wasn't about me, it was about the team. You know what I'm saying? And that was like to see everybody, like the whole crowd, and to see that place rocking like that was like that's something I could never forget. You know, like everybody Neil was dancing and like you know, that was a really big moment. So those 2 experiences I think are like really memorable for me.
Definitely.
My next question is memorable moments of each other, right? Like, so your on the court moment for you is actually for both of y'all is easy for me, right? For you, it was Marquette, right? Because you have been the best point guard in the league since I've been there. And you were dominating the league, and now this was an opportunity to be like this is literally the national stage. And I remember, you know, the preparation, how focused you were going into that game, how focused all of us were. Like, and just like, you know, when you spoke about with Kansas, we all felt we were going to go in. First of all, we were unfairly seeded, right? We shouldn't have been playing a 4 seed when we were 26-4 or whatever. We coming out to that game, and I'm a freshman. I run out court. I'm a little starstruck. Like this is a crazy experience. It's 30,000 people.
Yeah.
It was in Indianapolis. It was crazy. And just to see like the poise that you play with. Now I watched that game like recently, and it's like if you wanna describe to a kid like what a point guard is, right, and how to dominate a game. Like obviously you had a double-double, you played the game and all the other stuff, but like all the stuff that you have to understand basketball to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, intangibles.
Yeah, the intangibles, the leadership,
zero turnovers,
the controlling the game. I mean, Dwayne Wade was on the court.
Yes.
Steve Novak, he was the best player on the court the entire game by far, easily. And when I got to Europe, so the moment in the game is when you're in a fast break and you stop on a dime, you cross over and lay it up, right? But just seeing how you navigate the game, like when I got to Europe, I had to transition to a point guard. Right? That's why I was more marketable with my height.
Definitely.
Everybody at the 2 was 6'3", but not a lot of point guards are 6'3". And I used a lot of stuff that I saw from you. It made it an easy transition for me. But that moment was like, wow, like this guy's special. And all the hoopla that we heard coming into the Holy Cross, not just because of you winning and stuff like that, but the play where it was real and you displayed it. So that was like, it was really impressive. And then Torey's, it's a different dynamic because like I'm looking up at you, basically. I was a freshman, you were a junior, and then Torey is, I'm kind of so to speak, taking him under my wing like you did with me. And something like you spoke about, like us, in the beginning of our freshman year, we were cool, but not that cool. And we obviously like talk every day now. I think like we tell our kids when we coach, like ball exposes character. You can tell a lot about a person when you're on the court with them, where their heart is, if you can depend on them when you need them and stuff like that. So you displayed that in that game, and with Torey, it was the same thing, just a different form. With Torey, we were playing Notre Dame, and I'll never forget this because we came off the championship game, we lost, and we were pissed. We knew we deserved to. If we would have been in the tournament that year, we would have won the game. I think we all felt that way, and we deserved to be there. So when we went to Notre Dame, we were serious about it, and what do you call it? Like emotions were heightened. Like when you have a game that's special, how you feel, how in tune. And one time it was in the second half, and we were winning the game, but they were clawing back. And Torey drove to the lane and kicked out of bounds or something, right? And I got frustrated quick. I was like, "With your T, calm down," something like that. And he tried to explain. I was like, "Just calm down, all right?" And Torey was like, "All right, I'll get it back." But he looked at me like, "I'll get it back, but don't talk to me like that." And the game goes on, and we got a lead again. They come clawing back again, and this time, I drove to the lane. I tried to make a crossover. I fall. I turn it over. I'm like, damn. And I'm getting up to run back on defense. And I'm telling you, by the time I got to my feet, Torey had sold where the guy was passing, stole the ball, laid it up. Do you remember this play?
Yeah, I remember that play.
Right? Laid it up. By the time I got up, we had scored. Yeah. That's how fast it happened, right? I'm running back on defense, and Torey is staring at me the whole time, like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't malicious. It was like, I told you I'm going to get it back. And his leadership style was like that. It was like constant pressure, constant punching at you, constant defensively. He was in people's shorts. He was like a pit bull. And it was just, it was obviously a pleasure to play with both of y'all. Y'all were two different players in a lot of ways, but in terms of knowing I could depend on you guys and knowing when the lights were on, when the popcorn was smelling, when it was the biggest moments, there was no question that y'all were going to be ready to play, y'all were going to be there. So two moments. One moment about me, one moment about JAVE.
All right, so for JAVE, like I said,
MEADE is unlimited.com.